The Movie Preview Critic. Informing and entertaining your movie world.
I declare him from this day forth to be an outlaw!
In the gallant days when history hung on the flight of an arrow or the slash of a sword, when feudal barons ravaged the countryside to live in pomp and splendor, when one man alone dared challenge the might of his country's oppressors, Robin Hood, outlaw of Sherwood Forest, and his stalwart band, robbing the rich to feed the poor, ready to fight for king, for country, or for maiden fair.
As we can see from these previews, separated by 72 years, the story of Robin Hood is timeless, as long as we can relate to it. Watching this old version today, our reaction is, that sucks. I mean, listen to this music. Or how about how he defeats the evil sheriff of Nottingham? That makes the WWE look like the Spanish Inquisition. And what's this? Did Robin Hood just skip? Who today would be afraid of a merry, jolly skipping bandit? That might have been great for audiences 88 years ago, but today it would be considered an Ed Wood unintentionally cheesy comedy worthy of Mystery Science Theater 3000 ridicule. And that's the challenge for Robin Hood 2010. How do you take a story that's been around for almost a millennium and make it interesting, fresh, and contemporary enough for us, the audience? Let's pretend we were the filmmakers given this job. Where would we start? First, we'd have to take a look at the genre life cycle of Robin Hood movies. Listing just the major memorable ones, there's the Fairbanks version from 1922, Flynn in 1938, Disney in 1973, Costner in 1991, and of course, Brooks in 1993, who always seems to sense when a genre's life cycle is ending. It's even stated in the preview.
Robin Hood, men in tights. The legend had it coming.
When a genre is being spoofed, that's the red flag signal. It's time to either reinvent this type of film or for it to disappear. And to the filmmakers of Robin Hood, this means getting gritty, raw, and savage, presenting this time period as real as it would have been in 1190. Now, this approach to the character story and advertising here has obviously been influenced by Rambo 4. And look at the posters for both movies. This could have easily been called Robin Rambo. It's definitely not a coincidence. The only place left to go with a familiar character is the same place the Wild Bunch took the Western, where Saw and Hostel took the horror movie, where Saving Private Ryan took the war picture, to the cinematic land of hardcore. Check out this Saving Private Ryan storming the beach D-Day invasion at Normandy. That's obviously been mashed up with and influenced by Braveheart, which is the next piece of our history lesson regarding Robin Hood. In 1995, Mel Gibson took the Middle Ages battle genre to its pre-CGI peak, and since that story is set about 100 years after Robin Hood, in 1280, in roughly the same geographic location, the responsibility of any Robin Hood AB after Braveheart is to at minimum reach its level of quality and maintain its ideas regarding what warfare and living in the forest would look, taste, smell, and feel like. The similarities here are undeniable. This could also be called Bravehood, as well as Robinus Maximus, because the marketing and filmmaking are whoring out the fact that this is from the director of and stars the actor from. If we take a look at both previews, we notice an attempt to create a similar epic feel regarding the character's journey. And it's kind of a given that Ridley would use his Gladiator experience to inform his filmmaking decisions here. Gladiator is the final step in our cinema history of how to update Robin Hood for 2010. Released in 2000, Gladiator took what Braveheart did well, which was focusing on the characters so the battles would have more of an impact, and ended up creating one of the best examples of what a popcorn summer blockbuster movie could be, Oscar worthy. And that's the area that worries me about this Robin Hood preview. There's barely any focus on character and story. I guess the studio just assumes we know what's going on, but just in case, let's try to find it based on the preview. Sir Robin of Locksley returns to his hometown after battling in the Third Crusade as a hero, but he finds the Sheriff of Nottingham is kind of an ass and has oppressed the town. So Robin goes into William Wallace mode and rallies some troops after having a gladiator-inspired talk with the wise old man, who is Marion's father, and that no doubt leads into the romance between Marion and Robin. There's some kind of cheesy Destiny dialogue here.
Are you ready to be who you are?
Yes.
You are your father's son.
That reminds me of another classic character's wisdom.
I am what I am, and that's all what I am. I'm Popeye the Sailor Man.
Which implies some kind of secret that Robin learns about his family, like maybe he comes from royal blood, that gives him legitimate power to the town's throne. So he and his hairy, smelly, and not so merry men start ambushing the sheriff's troops.
For that incitement to cause unrest, I declare him an outlaw!
Then seems like there's 3 major battles in the film. The first probably happens when Robin and his merry men form, and the sheriff sends some troops out into the forest to capture them. The second is here, when Robin takes control of the town castle. And the final is this uber-saving Private Ryan attack on the beach, which most likely takes up Act 3, which no doubt ends with Robin winning and setting his people free, along with the help of his maid Marion, who is updated here to represent the sensibilities of feminism. A woman who can take care of herself and not just wait for Prince Charming to save her from her life. Here, it's Cate Blanchett, who not coincidentally played a warrior queen in Elizabeth the Golden Age. Look for the sheriff to be the main Star Wars Emperor type's antagonist for the first 2/3 of the film. Then there's this Darth Maul henchman warrior guy for the final battle. At this point, let's bring up a warning sign. The preview reveals no story. It's totally focused on genre, which I can respect and expect because the studio wants to convey that this is a ballsier version of the Robin Hood myth. But what it fails to do is connect us on a deeper level. Let's take a look at the Gladiator preview and see how it introduced character elements.
My name is Gladiator. Father to a murdered son, husband to a murdered wife, and I will have my vengeance.
Today I saw a slave become more powerful than the Emperor of Rome.
At my stick, unleash hell.
What we doing live? Echoes in eternity.
Wow, we get a lot of character motivation, personality, and spirit from that. How about Braveheart?
His dreams were of peace, and the woman he loved.
I want a home and shelter. It's all for nothing if you don't have freedom. Go back to England and tell them there that Scotland's daughters and her sons are yours no more.
If we win, we'll have what none of us have ever had before. A country of our own.
So what do we get from Robin Hood?
The laws of this land enslave people to its king. What we ask for is liberty. By law!
He doesn't seem to have that warrior fire that Maximus and William Wallace had. Even in Elizabeth the Golden Age, we get more character conviction than we have here.
Tell your king I fear neither him nor his armies.
I too can command the wind, sir! I have a hurricane in me that will strip Spain bare if you dare to try me! Let them come with the armies of hell! They will not come!
By God, England will not fall while I am cool.
Without interesting, engaging characters, this reimagining may not work. It's obviously done its cinema history homework, has chosen the right successful movies to be influenced by, and looks like it's going to be rated R, which is definitely the way to go. But to issue a final warning sign, the preview and marketing act like we, the audience, don't have smart brain think. Just give us some character, some heart, some spirit. We can handle it. With a running time probably in the 2-hour range, and what looks to be only a few genre set pieces, there will probably be a lot of character development, taking Robin from an honorable soldier returning from the crusade into an outlaw, a hood, then into a great leader. It's a character journey that seems already built in, but here in the preview, it's hidden by fear-driven marketing that doesn't trust us to be smart or deep enough to get. Because of that, I have faith beyond the previews that Ridley Scott, Brian Helgeland, and Russell Crowe have created something greater than what the advertising reveals, but at the same time has been limited by just following and emulating the success of similar past films. The movie preview critic rates Robin Heart worthy of big screen viewing as a matinee. In an age of CGI everything, it may be one of the last times to see mostly real battles on the big screen. It's not that different from what's come before, just simply as good. You'll see it because you like epic battles, stories set in the Middle Ages, action, adventure, the director, and the actors. It's a perfect movie for a guy's night out, and is a sign of movie hope in a very light, minimal way. If you're going to reimagine something, at least put some effort into it, and it seems like this qualifies here. As for the box office, with a budget of $130 million, the prospect of it making its money back is pretty strong. It comes out May 14th, a week after Iron Man 2, 2 weeks after Nightmare on Elm Street, and a week before Shrek 4. But even though those films are all big properties, they're different genres, so because one movie makes money doesn't necessarily mean that the others won't. This is the only medieval-style epic battle movie out there, so expect it to make about $50 million opening weekend in the US, with a worldwide total of about $300. As for its place in movie history, it should be better than Elizabeth the Golden Age, but not as good as Braveheart. Until next time, consider yourselves advised, choose your movies wisely because StoryCorp gives us more of what we pay for, and as always,
long live good movies!